Good Sunday morning, Tri-State. This is the Charlie Butler Real Estate Show, and I'm Charlie Butler. And my co-host, who I usually introduce right here, is not here today. She had actually business that she said, I can make as much money today as the producer Bobby Gates makes. So,
She's got a long way to go to catch me, Charlie.
I know. I mean, that's why you came back after, you just for
That's right.
the money.
All those funds I made before they ran dry, so I had to come back to the well.
Typical radio DJ, Bobby, if you want to picture Bobby, just watch WKRP and sing.
Am I like Herb Tarlick or which one are you comparing me to? Johnny Fever?
You'd be Johnny Fever.
Oh, okay.
You'd be the old rock disc jockey.
That's a compliment. I'll take that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, or fortunately maybe for a lot of people, there's not much of that goes on anymore, is there, Bobby?
No, it's not like WKRP anymore.
Yeah.
Sadly. I got to experience that for a brief time.
Bobby and I were both in radio a long time ago, but we've seen the change to corporate, so probably better in some ways. And Bobby is the co-morning host. His part-time job is
right. When I'm not busy producing your show. Is
exactly.
That what you're saying?
At WJLT.
Yep, the My Morning Show with Bobby and Liberty every weekday from 5 to 9.
Okay, and they do a really good job, and I know you're compared to Wiki a lot.
Musically, we're very similar, yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't play as much Christmas music you played, though.
I don't know if anybody did. We played a lot, a lot. I'm still recovering from the trauma. Don't bring that up, Charlie.
So, we're taping on Wednesday, so opening day has happened, Bobby.
That's right.
Bobby's a big Cubs fan. I'm a big Cardinal fan. So
I was glad to see us get out of Japan and away from the Dodgers because they had their way with us.
Yeah, they did. And was that 2 or 3 games you played?
Just 2.
That's what I thought. And they're going to be tough. I mean, Dodgers are
absolutely.
They are loaded. So, but opening days happened. So hopefully, we both were happy.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Give us a couple months, then we'll be sad. Right?
It's a long season, exactly. So, I say Candace DeArmond is not here today, but we will soldier on. And remember our sponsors brought to you by Bossy Title, and Bossy Title is the official title company of the Charlie Butler Show and the Charlie Butler team. So anytime you need your search needs, Bossy's great. They have an attorney right there on staff. If there is an issue, anybody can do, just like most jobs, anybody can do it if there's not an issue. It's pretty easy to do a search if you don't have an issue. But where Bossy stands out is when there is an issue. And but call the good folks or go to their website. Go to their website. You'll see Norman and Phil there, who are both French Bulldogs, and they kind of run the place down there. So they usually come out and visit. Phil's still a pup, so he is very active, and Norm just wants to eat. So if you take food, Norm will love you. But anyway, visit Bossy Title today, bossytitle.com. And also the Charlie Butler team. You hear us talk, but we don't really usually talk that much about it. But it's if we can't sell your home, which we normally do, and we do very quickly, we'll buy it. And we have a group of investors that will, and we will guarantee you, and we haven't missed on this yet. We'll have you an offer in 48 hours. So if you've got a home that you don't want to get ready to sell, you think it's too much, you just want to move on for whatever reason, call the Charlie Butler team. You can reach the team at 812-430-1708, or you can reach me at 812-499-7758. or charliebutlerteam.com. there's a lot of really neat stuff there. You can go on there. We've got get a home value of your home in like 30 seconds. It is usually, we went through a few of those type apps, and this one is really fairly accurate. But right now, if anybody's sitting out there thinking about listing their home, I mean, we're selling everything we get within, as long as it's in reasonably good condition and not way overpriced, we're selling it in less than a week, and sometimes with multiple offers. So we're really pleased with that. And so if you're thinking about listing your home, call us again at 812-430-1708, and we'll have somebody out there to give you a value on your home, and that's no charge. Everything we do is no charge until we sell the house. So we'll give you a value of what we think it will sell for. If we can get together on that, we would love to. We've got a lot of good programs besides, if we can't buy it, or if we can't sell it, we'll buy it. Not if we can't buy it, we'll sell it. I mean, it's I think it's reverse from that. And but anyway, also we've got a love it or leave it program where it helps the seller, but it also helps the buyer. Where if someone buys your home in the first year with the Charlie Butler team, and they're for whatever reason they're not happy with the home, they get transferred, whatever, doesn't matter. We will sell the home for free if it's if they need to sell it for the first year, during the first year. We have several different things we do like this. Easy exit listings. If you're at any time unhappy with our services, until the house, of course, it goes pending under contract, you can't get out of your obligation there. But at any time during the listing process and while it's listed, if you're unhappy, we will. All you have to do is tell us, and we'll cancel the contract. And we'll put all this stuff in writing. We have it in writing. So again, give us a call. Charlie Butler team, 430 area code 812-430-1708 or 812-499-7758. I sometimes forget to give the area code, Bobby, but I forget that we are going worldwide now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we're podcasts on Apple, Google, Amazon, Spotify. What's another big one, Bobby? But what I was told that they basically have
just
hit all
anywhere you get your podcast.
Yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, you can find the Charlie Butler Show there, and you can find our past shows. And you got at GBF AM, and I know this isn't necessarily your thing, but they have, my understanding, an on-demand where you can listen to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, from if you want to listen the middle of next week.
Correct. Yeah. You can go back, and it's through the Newstalk 1280 app.
Okay.
Yeah.
So get the Newstalk 1280 app, and you can listen to past Charlie Butler team shows, which is what I know Bobby does. He goes back and listens to the shows, and because that's his. I'm just getting you. I'm trying to bait you today, Bobby.
I'm looking at Fred and Dustin over here, and they're like, "Did we come here to talk on the show, or is this just the Bobby and Charlie show?"
No. And so since Bobby, so it's so going to be.
You don't have Candace here to keep you on track, so I feel like I need to.
I know.
Shove you in the right direction.
Should we talk about Candace like I? No, probably not.
We're going to leave her out of this week's show.
Okay. All right. Candace will be very happy with you, Bobby, that you said that. So, but yes, we do have two great guests today from ServPro. There was nothing on fire or flooded or anything, so they had time to come here and talk to us. We've got Fred Emory, who is the Evansville East franchise owner, Fred. Am I correct there?
I'm the local marketing representative.
Local marketing representative. And we've also got Dustin Chaney. And Dustin, what is your actual title?
I am actually a co-owner and the managing partner
Of Henderson?
of all of them around here, but the East
Okay.
Evansville.
Okay. So Dustin's a big dog here. Okay. He's, anyway, so Dustin, just for the audience that doesn't know, I think everybody sees ServPro commercials on TV and things, but give an overview about ServPro.
Right. So basically we do water, fire, mold remediation, but we also do general cleaning, spring cleanings, HVAC cleaning, carpet cleaning, all types of projects for people, everything from inside the home, basically. Small projects, large scale projects. We also participate in disaster recovery and national storm network, where we respond to natural disasters across the country too. We're part of that network, so we can handle those types of projects too. So just hopefully people never need us as far as those disaster recovery things, but I guess it's good to know that we're there if they do need us. And in addition to that, just different types of spring cleaning projects for people.
What is, okay, since this is a real estate show, and, well, as Bobby will tell you, we talk about everything. We don't, that doesn't make any difference. So anyway, what do you, and Fred and I were talking about this off air, what do you guys most get called in for when someone wants to sell their house?
So if someone wants to sell their homes, there's typically either something to do with a crawl space, or there's an odor or carpet cleaning, or it could be anything with, smoke odors, pet odors, things like that, that they need to try to get rid of and get that remediated in order to sell their home and make it more appealing. So we deal a lot with that as far as to make things presentable for the homes to get sold.
Right. There's an investor I represent, and he bought a home that had been foreclosed on. Now, but it wasn't your typical foreclosure that's trashed. It wasn't in bad shape, but it had this odor to it. And they pulled the carpet, they pulled the pad, everything, couldn't get rid of it. So what they did, maybe you can enlighten people a little bit. I believe it's called reverse polarity machines. They put where you got to get everything. If you got to get everything living out of there, because if you don't, they'll be dead. Like animals and stuff like that. Yeah.
Correct. We call it, for our purpose, we call them an ozone machine.
Ozone. Okay.
But yes, so basically you're just changing the atmosphere inside the home. Yes, once you tear everything out, you still can have those odors. Even sometimes if things happen, smoke odor, different things can also be affected at different temperatures. So it could be you don't have an odor in the wintertime, but all of a sudden in the summertime you do.
Right.
It can be the pores in the drywall or holding the odor that people don't think of, that if you raise the temperature and use the ozone machine, it will actually pull that odor out. But if you don't recognize it and it's colder and then you try to remediate that smell, it can come back when it warms up again. So just different things that you can think of as far as different things that can be done as far as remediating odors.
I remember in this case, what was odd about this one was, I don't know if this is, or we thought it was odd. What we were been told was you put one of these in there, just a few days, odor will be gone. We had it in there 2 weeks before we were able to get rid of the odor.
Just different environmental factors can affect it, and it's success in certain areas. So, yeah, there's probably an underlying cause. Sometimes it's really interesting sometimes it's a trial and error thing. I mean, not everything's perfect on it, but there always is a source or a cause of what's holding an odor or what needs to be done. as far as things go for that. So there's always some type of source, and it's not always perfect. But getting to the root of it, there is always an answer.
I guess it's kind of like what we had someone from one of the local mold companies on here several months ago, and he was telling me, he said, you don't necessarily have to get rid of the mold. You get rid of the moisture source, and the mold goes away.
So yes, that's true in a controlled environment. So if you have a lot of humidity in an area, you can remediate mold. You can get rid of whatever there is, but unless you control the atmosphere that it's in, you've still made the conditions correct for that to return again. So yes, it's one thing that always can be remediated and fixed and things, but you also have to know that you have to control that environment going forward.
But you do, my understanding, you do want to get rid of the moisture source.
Yes, because if there is a moisture source, that's what mold feeds off of.
Mm-hmm.
So with the moisture source there, it will continue to grow. But if you get rid of the moisture source, mold can't survive.
Okay. Fred, we see you at Keller Williams some, and you want to go into a little bit what you do here, for the company?
Sure, be happy to. What I do is call on really just about every real estate individual that I can connect with here in the local area, really just to let them know ultimately how to get services, particularly if there's a major storm that comes through like a few weeks ago and there's damage to one of their listings. They would know how to get emergency services scheduled promptly out there to make the corrections. This morning I was at, I'm a member of the Southern Indiana Real Estate Association, so I actively take part in sponsoring some of those meetings and providing any kind of preventative information to a realtor to help safeguard their clients when they're buying and selling, to maybe even eliminate having our teams go out and respond.
So you're working more with the realtors than is that really what you're focused on?
Not exclusively. I do make a lot of real estate calls through the course of a week, but I also take care of many insurance agencies, adjusters, carriers in the area, and general homeowners and business owners of commercial buildings contact me as well directly sometimes to have things inspected and order services.
I guess now this be for either one of you, but just sitting here thinking, as Fred kind of made me think, I guess insurance companies would be a big source of business for you guys.
Yes, we do deal. A large portion of what we do is through insurance companies. That's probably the main source of what we do. But we do have a few other sources, contacts, real estate agents, obviously, and different things also.
So how big is ServPro? It's nationwide, isn't it?
Correct. I mean, it's all across the nation. They're franchises. We all offer similar services, not all exactly the same, but not all operate exactly the same, but similar.
Yeah. So when you said you're co-owner of several of the franchises, how many around here do you have?
So here we have one over in Henderson. We have one in Warwick that services Warwick, Spencer, Du Bois, and one for East Evansville and downtown Evansville. Our ownership group also has others over in Eastern Kentucky and in Cincinnati too. So,
okay. So you're far flung then.
Our group is, and but we all support each other too, which also makes every market that we operate in it's an advantage to be able to support each of our markets to respond to wherever the disaster is occurring. So,
Fred, did you want to say something? I thought you looked like you were wanting to say something there. Add something in.
No.
You sure? Bobby, what about you? No?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So what's the process when there is a major storm?
So the process in a major storm is typically we're inundated with a lot of calls, obviously.
Sure.
We try to go through and start taking a list and prioritizing and contacting everyone to keep everyone updated. And it's kind of just a process of going through at one and staying in communication with everyone as we go along, because it is an emergency for everyone, and we understand that. But I guess the main thing is communication, and our teams just start. You start on one, and you just continue going down the list and making sure that you get as many people serviced as you can. We do also have the ability, if it's a major disaster, to pull from our other franchises first. And then we also have the national storm team that if it's appropriate, we can have ServPros from all over come in and help service everyone. So if it rises to that level, we can get national support in order to get everyone taken care of.
And Charlie, one of the benefits of ServPro and being a franchise operation is Dustin and I work very diligently to build the local relationships here where folks have our cell phone numbers. But if something happens in an emergency and they need something in the middle of the night and we're, for whatever reason, not available, ServPro is able to take calls 24/7, 365 through our national call center. And then those would be dispatched down to the local level for that response to take place promptly.
Right. So, of course, and Fred made me think of something. That's very important that I'm sure that you guys are prompt, because this is, especially in those situations.
It's an emergency response business. So we always have people on call ready to go. And we can even bring in support staff. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than what people would like, but we try to get there as fast as we can. And because if you're dealing with things like water, I mean, when you're discussing mold or things like that, time is also an enemy too. So you want to get to things as quickly as you can.
Yeah. I had a question just a minute ago about the national. For example, I don't know. I mean, I know you remember. What was it? 2006 when we had the tornado, Bobby?
Yeah, 06.
Yeah, where, unfortunately several people lost their life and there was tremendous damage here. So that would, I assume, would be something, for example, the national.
That would be something that, yes, something to that rises to that level. We'd bring in a national team. We respond to hurricanes a lot for our franchises and to others across the country. They have, even on the other side of the country, all of the wildfires and everything in California, they have national support over on that side of the country too. So yeah, just all over.
Yeah. So you'd be, hurricanes in the south and southeast,
correct.
Fire in the west, and
we spend
tornadoes in the middle.
Yep, we spend a decent amount of time around this area with tornadoes and freeze events. When the temperatures drop below freezing for extended period of time, dealing with those, because a lot of water damage happens in those circumstances too.
Something that I've noticed in listening homes and is you go in there and sometimes there's, whether it be because of an animal, for whatever, usually because of an animal, I think, or a pet, but there is an odor from the vents.
Yeah, I mean, there can be a few different sources for that, but yeah, so we also do cleaning of the entire HVAC systems and also deodorization of those too. But yeah, I mean, you never know if a pet, had an accident or did anything inside the vents that could happen too. You can have things that get sucked through your filter.
True.
And through, that type of stuff too, that people may not think about, that if you're not changing that out, that obviously can redistribute to the entire home. So you want to make sure that that's taken care of too.
Yeah, that's things like, I think there are a lot of little things you guys probably do that we don't even think about.
Yeah, and like in thinking of the freeze events earlier, I know that there will always be postings from real estate agents to insurance agents to us out there when you get to those events, things like opening cabinet doors that have pipes in it, dripping your faucets to make sure that the water continues moving, disconnect your outside faucets. You don't want those because ice freezes up and cause damage inside your home too. So a lot of those things people don't think about. It just doesn't cross their mind on a daily basis. But during those events, there are helpful tips as far as making sure you can minimize your damage or at least make it to where you have less of a chance of those types of things occurring.
And so all the, as we always say, sometimes the devil's in the details. If you get the little things right, the big things get taken care of.
Correct.
So we got about 3 minutes left, and we're going to have you guys back this next week too, which we'll tape right after this. I don't mean you got to come back, but Fred, what from the conversation, you've been pretty quiet, but some things you want to add that from your perspective.
Just, you mentioned the devil's in the details. So I do a lot of lunch and learns for real estate offices here in the local area. And the neat thing that I've heard is, like we were talking about cleaning of ductworks for HVAC systems. It's always nice after I finish a lunch and learn at a real estate office. I usually get a couple of calls from the agent saying, hey, thank you for coming in. Appreciate the information. We had no idea that ServPro would be a source to help with this type of service, to your point, as well as because we are doing so many response to water issues. You think about those kind of things are happening a lot of times in a bathroom or a kitchen area. And many realtors that I've talked to over the last year had no idea that ServPro is a source that can actually not only take care of the water remediation issue, but also would have the service to literally put that bathroom, as an example, back into the condition it was prior to the damage occurring. So you're right. There's a lot of details and a lot of variable services that we offer, and that's why I try to spend as much time as I can in front of real estate groups, really just providing education and making sure that they know how to access our resources should something occur that will help them get their home sold quicker or get it prepared to sell quicker.
Well, I think that's the important thing we get across, because I know ServPro name is very big, of course, but we got a minute left. So, gosh dang. Oh, you're more than just, you're known for, big projects that happen. You're much more than that.
Yes, projects of all sizes, from the smallest duct cleaning or carpet cleaning all the way to the major disasters. So we do everything in between.
Okay, great. And Bobby, it's about time to go, isn't it?
Okay. About 30 seconds.
Okay, so again, we want to thank Bossy Title for their long-time sponsorship. We're in our 8th year, Bobby. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It's a long time.
I know. You were here at the start. Hopefully it's in the finish. Hopefully they don't come in and throw us off the air. But anyway, so Fred, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. So for Fred Emory and Dustin Chaney, who has a lot of good information, Dustin, thank you, because there were things I didn't know. And for Bobby Gates, even though he's a Cub fan, we'll mention him. Listen to him on WJLT. He does a great job. So anyway, this is Charlie Butler. Have a great Sunday.
The following program is paid for by the Charlie Butler team. This program has been paid for by the Charlie Butler team. From the Kate Foppel Ford Studios, this is Newstalk 1280 WGBF.